Hello friends, this is Webster from my Therapy Garden YouTube channel. We're pulling the dirt, help to take away the hurt. This is early spring and we're going to look at the rose garden. Looking at the rose garden in early spring. Of course we know that the rose hasn't started blooming or anything yet, but we're just going to look at what's happening in the rose garden. First we need to tell you that we're trying to make this area a little bit more pronounced, where you can see that serpentine look of it, that curve. Just need to adjust it a bit. Sad to say that our Japanese maple at the front here, which was waterfalls, didn't quite make it. After it died back in the winter, it just didn't come back. Maybe it was getting too much sun. I was forcing this one right here because I know it get a lot of sun. But because the Crimson Queen, which can also take some sun, is doing so well, I thought the greener one, and the green usually do better, the green leaf Japanese maple usually do better than the red ones in the south here. So I thought, that the waterfalls would do good. But sad to say, it didn't do too bad. It didn't do well at all. It didn't do good at all. It's completely dead. So I'm gonna dig that one up. I already have plans for it. I got rose from David Austin, which I'm gonna put right there. And I think I'm gonna put a Jekyll, what's her name? Gertrude Jekyll. A Gertrude Jekyll right here. Because Gertrude Jekyll, of course, a fragrant rose, but it's a pink rose, which I think would bounce off this purple Japanese maple Crimson Queen right here. Okay. All right. So we have plants coming up. We have this little rose right here. Is doing so well. My wife didn't want me to cut it back, so we'll just see how this one will go through the year. I might have to cut it back later, but for now she wanted to be bushy to kind of fill up this area, and I was like, okay. Dragon Prince Cryptomeria, and if you look, you can see all the roses, the hybrid tea roses that we did that video when we pruned them back to 18 inches. And all the roses are doing well. You see they have that nice soft growth. The red there, that means your rose is thriving right there. Doing good. We are still need to plant the Pope John Paul II, which is gonna go right here. That's the space for the Pope John Paul II. When I'm planting that one, we'll do a video so you can see how we plant the rose. It's not bare root anymore because I got that about 6 weeks ago when it was still cold. So I had to put that in a pot. So pretty much it's a potted rose right now. But we'll still go ahead and make a video of how we plant the rose. We have a peonies here, looking good. Hopefully we'll get flower this year, and we can see it's budding up nicely. Behind it is a herb, and this is a rue. And again, this herb budding up nicely, so it should be flowering pretty soon. And you know my philosophy, I kind of take that cottage garden philosophy, where I try to mix my herbs with my flowers, because herbs, again, would attract the good bugs that will eat the bad bugs from all your flower. So we have lots of herb right here in the rose garden. We have the rue. This one coming up here is a marjoram, and of course lavender coming back. Okay, all over rose. If we look at the trellis here, where we have David Austin climbing roses, but with it as a companion plant we have the Clematis, and we can see that the Clematis is already blooming. Look at that beautiful purple color. on the Clematis. Hopefully this year we can have the roses going right over our arbor or trellis right here. I also order another trellis to put at the front of the rose garden, so we'll have 2 trellises over here. We have a lot of bulbs that just start coming up also here. It's the first time I try Ranunculus, and we can see they bursting through right there. That's a Ranunculus, which is the first time I'm trying. These are the Hyacinth, which already died back. So we cut off the flower part of the Hyacinth so it don't go to seed, and we'll just leave the leaves on there to feed that bulb for next year. So once the leaves get brown, we'll cut it back so we can have beautiful bloom next year. We have lilies also, which got burnt, the frost bitten pretty much. That week of Easter, it got real cold and a lot of the plants got burned. You can see this Japanese maple, Verna Jean, suffer also. See all the nice new shoots that were coming up, all got burned from the frost. But since it's still early in the season, we can see that the new other leaves are coming out, so it should recover nicely. Our phlox, garden phlox, coming back, and we can see the aster spreading like crazy over here. A lot of suckers coming up where it went to seed, and now we're having new growth. Here is a woodland phlox, nice lavender color, looking good right here, and I love this view of it against my rock. Beautiful. Again, we know that the garden is constantly growing and changing. So see, I outlined this area, which I'm gonna remove a little more sod from this area and give the garden a curve right about here. Give it a curve right about there. I outline where I'm going to remove the sod from there, and you'll see that as the season go on. Here we have our weeping redbud on the David Austin side. Flower pretty much finished flowering. Leaves are coming out now. I post pictures on Instagram when it was in full flower. You can check that out at my.therapy.garden for Instagram photos. These are lilies and hyacinth that's finished flowering. And we have daylilies, which are now coming up. A new David Austin rose, which we got late in the fall, was this one right here. And this one is Darwin, Charles Darwin, right there, which is the yellow rose. Trying to keep the theme of yellow rose on this side. We have this one is Golden Celebration, a yellow rose. And of course up here at this side we have Poet's Wife. Emerald green arborvitae, and this red Japanese maple is a red dragon. We have our bloodgood Japanese maple right here, which coming around nicely. We hear they're cutting the grass. And as we look to the front, we'll just take a walk through the trellis right here. I put some onion, like to put herbs in my garden. So I tried some onion this time. I couldn't find any chive, so I put onion for now. Later on we'll put other herbs and even more peonies. So hopefully this year we can have a show of peonies. Oh, let me show you this clematis. This is so beautiful. Beautiful color on this clematis, flowering nicely. Oh, beautiful. And the trellis we have right here, the baptisia, coming up nicely. And this baptisia is the yellow one. This flower on this is yellow as opposed to the blue or purple that we normally see. So I love this one. Behind it, Japanese maple, Kotonoito. A Kotonoito Japanese maple, leafing out nicely, give it that nice chartreuse color. Right down here we have another small conifer, Golden Promise, another cryptomeria, Golden Promise. More of the baptisia. And on this front trellis right here, the small clematis just coming up. So we should have a beautiful show come summer of both clematis as they climb up these trellis right here. But there's a salvia right here which is flowering nicely, and the other one right behind it with a lily right here and a peonies. We plant this tree in the fall. It's a magnolia, little gem, which survived the winter. So we should have good luck with this magnolia right here on this sunny spot. So there we have it, guys. We had a quick look of the rose garden in early spring, looking at plants which survived the winter, plants that didn't make it, and who started flower, and we're keeping our eyes out on the ones that would flower later on. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Questions or comment, please drop a line down below, and I promise you I'll answer all your questions. Okay, please tell your friends and family about the channel, because that's one way we can help the channel to grow. From My Therapy Garden to yours, this is Webster from My Therapy Garden. We're playing the dirt, help me to take away the hurt. And we just look at the rose garden in early spring. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you in the next video. God bless. Have a great day. Bye now.